Welcome to the Sunday Rune and Card reading. I'm Jenny Florence. Wonderful people, thank you so much for joining me. This is the part of the reading where I talk about the additional guidance that I've received. Today we are working with three stunning angels, honey calcite, green aventurine and black obsidian. I was also connected in with three very specific archangels for each of these readings. Now, for those of you that are new to my readings, if you want to fast forward, if you already know which reading you have been guided to connect in with, the timings are in the information box below, so you can fast forward if you don't want to sit with me for the extra guidance, or indeed while I draw the cards and the runes. Some people really enjoy this, so I do video it as well. Now, let me just say welcome to you all. Welcome back to those of you who are already following my readings, and thank you so much, wonderful people, for being a part of this amazing community. You guys just blow me away. Your likes, shares, comments, your support of one another as well as of me is just amazing. And anyone new, do please check out the information box below, because I give away a lot of free stuff. I give away a limited first edition of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards each month. I also give away a free private reading. They are subscriber offers, so do just check out the information box below. There's also loads of other resources, webinars, all kinds of stuff that I put into the world. So do just check that out. So let us begin. For reading number one, we have this wonderful energy of honey calcite. Now, honey calcite is like a stone of leadership. It really aligns us with truth, with honesty, with courage. It helps us to overcome obstacles. It helps us to recover as well if we've experienced any kind of toxicity. And the archangel that came forward was Archangel Gabriel. Now, in Hebrew, Gabriel literally means God is my strength. He is known as the Archangel of Revelation and of communication. He speaks again, it's the truth. That's what's really coming through here. Leadership, the truth, leadership within ourselves. He helps us to overcome fear, and it's like become the best version of ourselves. So there's something here about really stepping into a position of powerful leadership. Now, in reading number two, we have connected with the energy of green aventurine. I love the energy of green aventurine. For me, it's like whenever I work with it, I feel like somebody has just wrapped a blanket around my shoulders, and as if I'm sitting in a bubble of wonderfully warm, vibrant, healing, gentle energy. Now, this is known as a stone of good luck, and it's said to radiate warmth and comfort, and I would wholeheartedly go with that. It's also said to remove any energy blocks within us, and is particularly good for the healing of any kind of emotional residue. It looks after our physical health as well. I mean, not surprising then, because our emotions, I mean, if we have any emotional scars, they kind of tend to sit in the body, actually. So it's also actually said to draw love into our life, new love into our life, particularly in the later stages of life. So very interesting, and a very strong connection really with the divine. The archangel that came forward was Archangel Jophiel, and it's interesting because Archangel Jophiel helps us to clear energy. She works with the space around us. She clears stress from within. She often works with feng shui, which allows us to clear the energy around us as well. So a lot of healing, a lot of healing energy that clears us energetically, and also creates space, I think, for the new, for new love, new creativity. So that's the energy surrounding reading number two. Reading number three is wonderful. Black obsidian. This is the warrior energy. This stone is said to bring protection. Very powerful, very dynamic energy. Now, black obsidian, it acts as a mirror to the soul. It's used for shamanic journeying. We get to see things through different eyes. It will protect us when we walk through the shadows. If we're going through a difficult patch, it will kind of almost like hold us in the light, even if we feel as though we are in the dark. And the archangel that came forward was Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron was one of 2 angels, I believe, that walked the earth as a human person, as a human man. He's a prophet and a scribe, and he understands I'd say the mathematics and the sacred geometry of almost of quantum physics, of spirituality. He allows us to align with, I'm going to say, the universal truth, hence I think the mirror of the soul. He helps us to get clear and to get organised. So if we're experiencing any kind of fog, fear, obligation, guilt, black obsidian is an energy to support us through that and into the light and to bring clarity. And Archangel Metatron will guide us, help us to get organised, help us to know what action to take, what the next step is. So 3 very powerful angels, 3 very powerful archangels joining us for this reading. Now, for anyone that is interested in this kind of stuff, over the last, I guess it's probably just over a month now maybe, I now create a weekly handout that you can access. I send it out in an email every week, and I also put up a PDF of this handout. This is this week's here. If you would like to download that, you can join this Sunday rune and card reading email list. It is in the link below, or the information box below rather, the link is there. Once you join that, you can access a page with all the downloads there from previous readings as well. And you can also get the downloads from any of the webinars I've been doing. So the downloads with all the meanings of the runes and the layouts of the cards and all the other kind of stuff that we've been doing really in the live webinars, just to really connect. And it's because it is just so wonderful to connect as a community. It's been absolutely amazing. So, wonderful people, we will now draw the cards. So first of all, we will, I think, actually connect in with the angel cards. It had to be the archangel cards, really, with such a powerful energy around us in terms of angels. And we'll draw, I'm hearing 3 for each reading. 1, 2, 3. For reading number 1. 3 for reading number 2, and 3 for reading number 3. There's a lovely, lovely, vibrant energy here. I'm just going to pop these here randomly. We will lay them out shortly, but I know a lot of people really, really like to be tuned into the energy as we draw them, as we draw the cards. Okay, wonderful people. 3 again. You can see these are well-used tarot cards. They're my oldest pack. And also, guys, if there are any cards that you find yourself particularly drawn to, I have actually photographed all the cards that I use, and again, there is a link in the information box below. You should be able to identify the ones you're looking for and find out what they are. And then obviously you'll be able to find them for yourselves. And that includes the runes, although of course, having just done a workshop on making your own runes, if that really appeals to you, do watch that video, because it's now live and uploaded. And yeah, do watch the video if you're interested in making your own runes. And of course, in the download sheets, we did a workshop all about learning to read the runes, and there is a download with meanings for all of the runes as well, if that's something that you find yourself particularly drawn to. I find them absolutely amazing to work with. Okay, we are actually going to do the runes next. Okay. It's coming through in 3s today. It's interesting. Okay, that's our wonderful runes. We will now draw from the Art of Manifestation cards. 1 is what I'm hearing. I know exactly which one it is. It's that one. And that one. Okay, and also Moonology cards. That's what I'm hearing as well. Excuse me, wonderful people. We have a dog here. I have 2 dogs, and so needless to say, in fact, one of them showed up in one of our readings actually a little while ago. So, and I'm hearing again 1 card. Okay. So wonderful people, we have reading number 1, reading number 2 and reading number 3. I'm going to pause the video and set them up into the piles that we need to be able to put up a thumbnail for people to see on YouTube if they're wanting to just go straight to whichever reading is speaking to them. And there will also be time to pause and just tune in with your intuition. Wonderful people, this is when we actually sit and tune in with our intuition. We have reading number 1 governed by the energy of honey calcite and the Archangel Gabriel. With reading number 2, we have the energy of green aventurine and Archangel Jophiel. And in reading number 3, we have black obsidian, very powerful warrior spirit energy with Archangel Metatron. So guys, you may wish to press the pause button if you want to sit with the readings and see which one you are drawn to. Some of you may already know if you've been sitting with me during the extra guidance and indeed for the drawing of the cards, but take your time, listen to your intuition, tune in to whichever reading is speaking to you. You may find it's more than one, and do remember that they are in a playlist, so if you do wish to come back to them at a later time, if you kind of something sparks you and you think, do you know what, I need to touch base with something and I think that reading might have, one of the other readings might have been right for me, you will find the playlist. If you go to the home page, go into playlists, you'll find the Sunday rune and card reading playlists, and indeed you'll be able to find any of the weekly readings there for you to check in with. So wonderful people, I will leave you with your own guidance. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1 with our beautiful honey calcite angel and Archangel Gabriel. Very powerful energy around. So let's look at our runes. Okay, so our first rune is the rune of constraint. So this would suggest a feeling of kind of things are, you're held back, or there is a constraint around you, you're not able to do what you want. I mean, for sure, many of us are in a lockdown situation, but nevertheless, this is interesting. It's an energy that also asks us to kind of, I would say, use your time wisely, cross the T's, dot the I's. If you can't get out and about or do things that you would normally do, use your time for something else. There's some sort of energy of needing to emerge. That's what's coming through. Signs, signals, synchronicities. This is the rune of signs. Universal signs. Pay particular attention to what is going on around you. Listen to the detail, okay? That's what's really coming through. Wonderful. We have the rune of fertility. Now, fertility is a rune that speaks of new beginnings, but it also speaks of completion of beginnings in order to clear the way for the new. This is tuning in, I think, with this Archangel. Archangel Gabriel, again, the angel of revelation, of communication, helping us to overcome fear. I think I really felt as though there was something that was needing to be sorted out. And the rune of fertility, it's wonderful because it's a rune of promise. But at the same time, there's a completion of beginnings. We're needing to wrap something up. Remember, the energy of honey calcite is an energy of leadership, and it helps us to work through any of our difficulties, to process anything toxic, if there's a residue of any toxicity around you. So really stepping into the fullest and best version of yourselves. Let's have a look at, okay, what do you need to release? Moonology card. We have outcome. This is interesting. This card asks you not to be too attached to a specific outcome. In any new situation, the possibilities are open-ended. Anything might happen. Try not to prescribe a fixed outcome within your mind, as this may limit your availability to access the infinite scope of possibilities sent to guide you in the best possible direction. It's a very interesting, little rune. Very interesting couple of cards here. I'm going to move these down. Let's see what our tarot cards are showing us. Aha, okay. Move our angel energy up here. I think you guys can, we've got plenty of room to see, focus in with the camera, so that's brilliant. Five of Pentacles. This is interesting, guys, because the Five of Pentacles means you're not able to quite show something of yourself. It's either, maybe for some of you, you are around somebody who still is actually a little bit toxic. This has been coming through in quite a few readings, and I will be doing a webinar on narcissism. It's scheduled during May. I haven't actually posted it yet. If you want to be notified of that posting, do make sure you are subscribed and you press the little bell icon as well. That way you'll get notification as soon as I post it. We will be looking at the impact of either living with or growing up with or being in a relationship with somebody who's very narcissistic, and actually the impact it has on us, and also how to overcome any of the residue of anything that's left behind. So it feels very relevant to this reading. You're not able to quite be yourself, or you're not able to show something of yourself. There is a restriction around you, but I think you're being quite wise about this. You're needing to weigh something up and to balance something and to work out the way forwards. But interestingly, you are seeing that there is a way forwards. You're just not through the choppy waters yet. There's still some, choppy waters is the best way I can describe it. There's still some choppy waters around you. Okay, this is interesting. Our three Archangel cards that are coming through here. So first of all, Archangel Raphael: eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep and exercise regularly for optimal health. This is all about looking after yourself here, but also actually tuning in to signs, signals, synchronicities, understanding the cycles, the natural rhythms and the natural cycles, so that you can operate from a position of empowerment. What do you need to release? The moon cycles. Archangel Haniel: notice how the moon affects your energy and your manifestations, and capitalize on those cycles. Notice when the energy of the moon supports you in journeying inwards to understand what you need to release, but also recognize when the energy of the moon allows you to feel more liberated and to be able to move forwards. When are you more receptive to signs, signals, synchronicities? You're processing something, you're weighing it up, you're needing to keep it quite close to your chest, and I think that there's some wisdom in this. That's not about not being honest. It's much more about knowing, it's sort of tact and diplomacy, knowing that it's not appropriate to share all of your thoughts, indeed all of your plans for the future, with everyone, because actually, again, especially if you are around somebody who's a little bit toxic, they're quite used to you being there to support them. And actually, if you share your visions of independence, I think that there'll be a reaction. So it's important for you to navigate this carefully. Just look after yourselves. That's really coming through. Archangel Azrael, comfort. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. You are, what I'm hearing is, whatever that is for you in your individual worlds, because obviously your circumstances are unique to each of you. But you are needing, or it's not, you're not even needing, you are already processing something. I think you're well on the way to processing something. And I think you also know what you need to let go of. Some of you are probably itching to let go of something, but circumstances may be holding you back. But just, take things gently. Look after yourselves. Don't dive into the sort of what I would call the comfort eating and drinking because we feel stuck and trapped. Get yourself centered in meditation. Plan your vision in what you want. Plan your new horizons, because this rune fertility is wonderful. It's all about new possibilities. It's just that something has to sort of get wrapped up and come to an end first. And don't be too attached to outcomes. Just, again, there's something about leaning into trust here. You will be given guidance, you will be shown the way. And yeah, for sure, you may not be quite through this and out the other side, but there is the light at the end of the tunnel, and I think you are beginning to have quite a clear vision of where you want to go. Again, capitalise on the cycles of the moon. Learn how to use the different incoming energy. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I am actually shifting my monthly readings into a slightly different format. Excuse me. Because I do believe that we are really being called to live in a way that is more present. And so instead of doing just one big monthly reading, although I did do them for May, you can check them out if you wish, I'm going to be doing twice monthly readings, and I will be tuning into the cycles of the moon. So again, if you want notification of that, make sure you are subscribed and press the little bell icon. We have a magnificent new moon next week on Friday, and so very, very powerful energy that day, and I will be doing individual readings for each sign around the new moon energy to cover the fortnight beyond it. So as I said, my readings are going to start to be tuned in exactly with this, with the cycles of the moon, so that we can really key into the incoming energy in terms of empowerment and manifestation. So wonderful people, you're in the process of something. It is working through the energy of Archangel Gabriel is around you, the energy of honey calcite. Step into that best version of yourself. Become your own heroine, hero. There are going to be opportunities to literally lead yourself through this and out the other side. The circumstances have been challenging, yes, I know. Look after yourselves, capitalise on the energy, really start to notice how that works for you, because actually there will come a time when things move forwards, and the more you understand of how to use that energy, the more you will be able to manifest exactly what you desire as you move through this turbulent period and out the other side. Wonderful, wonderful people. So much love to you all. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2 with the wonderful energy of green aventurine. There's so much warmth and healing here, and of course we are joined by Archangel Jophiel, who is really helping us to clear energy both within us and around us. I do feel like I'm in a bubble. It always happens when I work with green aventurine. Just such a warmth and a radiation of that warmth. Let's look at the runes. So we have the rune of initiation. This is a rite of passage, like a rebirth almost for some of you, I'm hearing. And the rune of disruption, interesting. The rune of disruption, again, I'm hearing disruption with purpose. Okay, there's a bigger picture here. And the rune of ice. So things are, I won't say at a standstill, but yeah, things are not moving forwards, but I want to say there is purpose to this. Whatever you are birthing into the world, whether it's a project, a relationship, a new phase in your life, a new version of you, now may not be the time for it to rush forwards. I think there is some kind of aspect of healing energy around you. Or maybe you're needing to get centered and clear the energy in order to move forwards. Let's have a look at the cards. You are good enough. Now, this is speaking volumes, and this is what's needing to be cleared and released. Mistakes, here we go. If you feel you have made a mistake, or indeed someone else has done so with impact on you, please do not feel bad about this. Treasure and value your mistakes and those of others, around you. They are mistakes, they are the cutting edge of our personal growth and our evolution. Lean into the learning and celebrate your openness to grow. Okay, so there is something that's needing to be processed. This is this rite of passage. It has felt disruptive, but there is purpose to it, because through this you're going to learn something, you're going to grow. You're going to step into a more confident version of you. Oh, these cards are magnificent. Okay, wonderful. Okay, this is interesting. So, wonderful, wonderful cards. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords in reverse. We have the Three of Wands. There's forgiveness. There's forgiveness around you. There's a real acknowledgement and a validation. I really want to say, and I'm just hearing it really loud and clear, you didn't do anything wrong. Okay, you did not do anything wrong. It's really coming through. This is not, you've been dwelling on something. It's one thing to meditate on something. It's another thing to dwell on something and to go over and over and over it, trying to work out what you did wrong. And I'm really hearing it loud and clear. You didn't do anything wrong. Please, 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 look after yourselves. You are good enough. There's something very powerful has happened to cause you to feel, it's like it's undermined your self-esteem in some way, or caused you to feel self-doubt. You are really being called to nurture yourself. And for some of you, this goes back to childhood. Let me just read this card here, Nurture, Archangel Gabriel. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. Clairaudience, Archangel Zadkiel. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Now, I need to speak to you about the message that's coming through very clearly here with this card. It's the difference. I'm being shown the difference between guidance that you hear inside your mind or the inner dialogue that is actually critical. You know, there's a big difference. Sometimes we hear things within our mind and we think, well, and we listen to that voice within our mind, and actually it's just the inner critic, and it's eroding our confidence. It's not guidance. It's not telling you what to do. It's a repetitive thinking pattern that is actually undermining your well-being. You really, really, I keep hearing it, you've done nothing wrong. And you may feel that you may be, again, one of those really sensitive people, an empath who has a predisposition to take on board more than is yours. This is coming up time and again in readings too. It's very, very interesting. I voiced this in reading number 1. I'm going to voice it again now. I have scheduled during May a workshop, a live webinar on narcissism, because it's coming through in quite a lot of the readings that people are left with an emotional residue of challenge, particularly connecting to self-doubt, that's come from either growing up with narcissistic or a narcissistic family member or parent, or they've been in a relationship with someone narcissistic and it's left its mark. So I will be doing a free webinar on that. So do, again, if you want that notification, make sure you are subscribed and press the little bell icon. But it's kind of like you're not to dwell, you're to not, you can meditate on it, but don't dwell on it. Differentiate between those repetitive thoughts within your mind as opposed to the guidance that is brought to you. If it's not kind and loving, it's not guidance. It's a real golden rule. And it's really interesting. I'm going to energetically shift something in this reading in a moment. Really being asked to do something to kind of help to shift the energy here for you. Three of Wands. There is forgiveness, and there's also an acknowledgement and a validation. New energy is coming in for you to re-establish yourself differently. We have this wonderful card, Archangel Chamuel. I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. For some of you, you have been damaged within a relationship, or a relationship has started to become stuck or stagnant. But that can shift. Now, the key here, I'm really hearing it, it comes back to this wonderful energy of green aventurine. So remember also I said, if you were listening into the guidance, that green aventurine, particularly in later life, can help us to attract new love. And that can be new love in our relationship with ourselves. It can be that healing, that emotional healing, or it can be new love in terms of a relationship, a soulmate connection. What I'm being asked to voice is there's, excuse me, there's a need to cleanse the energy within you and around you. This is the feng shui of Archangel Jophiel, because it's like cleansing that energy from the inside out. If you realign your energy, then your external world will start to mirror that. And again, it's that difference between dwelling on something or meditating on something. So sit with this and the energy of it right now. I'm just going to shift some things around to show you how we shift the energy. So when we begin to know that we are good enough, when we cherish our mistakes as being the cutting edge of our evolution, essential to our soul's journey of evolution within this human lifetime, when we recognize that we have an inner child who needs to be nurtured and treasured and loved, especially if that didn't happen when we were little. When we recognize these things, we begin to heal. Energy is with you here for healing and validation. Now, this is part of the rite of passage that's going on, and whatever disruptions are going on around you, they are serving a purpose because they're showing you something and they're bringing things to the surface. There is support for you to find new love. I'm really connecting in with that, but the energy within you needs to be cleared in terms of any form of self-doubt. Know that you are good enough, and that absolutely, guidance will be brought to you. The energy in this reading in terms of love and warmth and healing is huge. It's time to remove self-doubt. When we remove self-doubt, when we energetically cleanse ourselves and we realign our chakras, we no longer dwell on negativity or sit in those repeating patterns. We actually start to meditate on the truth of something. When we begin to see the truth, opportunities open up for us. Okay, at the moment completions are almost quite difficult because of the self-doubt. The self-doubt is the bit to work at. When we do, the ice melts and it flows. We can meditate and see things clearly. We can look after ourselves. New energy comes forwards and we complete a phase of life in which self-doubt was too big, too much on our horizon. And in clearing that, in beginning to just love our learning and knowing it's really, really cool. There's a message coming through with this card as well. You know, it's like, you know, when children start to say their first words, you know, they're not correct. I mean, we don't criticize them for not getting it right. We love those first words. We cherish them. You know, when they first start to walk, they toddle and they fall over and, you know, they can't just get up and walk perfectly. They can't get up and run. They have to learn. We don't criticize them with when their first steps are wobbly. We love their first steps. You're being asked to literally cherish your growth in exactly the same way. I've never quite understood or worked out at what point we stop nurturing ourselves so that our mistakes are part of our evolution and we start criticizing ourselves for not getting it right. But there's a definitive point when that shifts, and it's almost like from then on we can undermine our own development. That's what you're being asked to shift here. Healing is being offered, and that's what turns the energy. The ice melts. You have new horizons. There are completions, acknowledgements, and new horizons. Energy available for new beginnings, meditation and reflection rather than dwelling on something and feeling as though somehow, you know, you're just not worthy. And that's the shift that's taking place here. So wonderful people, big, big, big respect. This is the the major stuff of learning that we are being given at this moment in time. It's part, I think, of the incoming energy. Now, for those of you that have been following my readings, you may already know I'm going to shift away from doing big monthly readings to doing twice monthly readings. I will be aligning them with the energy of the moon. I will do one for all signs next week around the incoming energy of the new moon. I'm really wishing to become responsive. I think we're being asked to become more present, more responsive, and in terms of our own ability to manifest, I think working and aligning ourselves with the incoming energy, particularly around the cycles of the moon, is a very empowered way to live, particularly as we move through and into a very new phase in life, a new paradigm of being. So guys, again, watch out for the new format of readings. I did a full moon energy update with little mini readings for every sign. I'm going to do a proper reading for every sign for the new moon next week. So watch out for those wonderful people. So namaste, huge respect to you guys. This is the learning of the spiritual warrior. Yeah, just big, big respect. And this is what changes stuff and makes sure that we don't pass on legacies to future generations. We do the emotional healing, and it stops with us. So very, very big respect to you all. So much love. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3, governed by the wonderful energy of the Black Obsidian Angel, that spiritual warrior energy, and Archangel Metatron helping us to really get organized, to get clear, to align our chakras, to understand universal law, and to become almost like I'm tuning into becoming our witness self in some way. Higher learning is coming through. We have the rune of wholeness, the path you must follow. Wow, very powerful. We have the rune of flow in reverse. This means that things are possibly a little slow in coming to fruition. However, we also have the rune of joy, carried across the gap by the wings of heaven, out of darkness into light. So yeah, very powerful energy. We have, it's time to take action. Okay, I'm hearing a message coming through. Open yourself to possibility. I'm feeling like there's some procrastination going on. That's what I want to say. That's why we have this energy here. Archangel Metatron actually helps us to focus on our priorities. He helps with procrastination. And the energy of Black Obsidian is all about the pathway of the spiritual warrior. It's a very wonderful energy where, it's used for shamanic journeying. So we kind of get to look inwards and see where we're blocked. This is about opening yourself to possibility. Almost everyone holds some limiting beliefs about themselves. These preconceptions block us from receiving the infinite support of the universe. This card is an invitation to reassess and look beyond these limitations, and to recognize that in opening yourself to possibility, you automatically invite positive change into your life. It's definitely time to take action. Okay, wonderful. Crystal clear intentions. Spread your wings. Peace. Wonderful, wonderful energy. Wow, there's so much here to move forwards, and this is very much for you guys a time of moving forwards. Okay, so even though things may not be do you know, I'm hearing, what are you waiting for? It's what I'm just hearing is coming through. What are you waiting for? Again. So choices, decisions, you're faced with choices. And but those choices, you're ready to make a choice. There's an energy around you in terms, it's almost like you're simply being asked, look at your options and think clearly about them. And in fact, again, really strong messages coming through. You're being asked to think about the different options that are available to you, okay? Actually, there's probably only one pathway to go down, but it's just that you're faced with choices, and I'm hearing that there's a little bit of Concern, anxiety, understandably, stepping into the new, stepping up, spreading your wings, about making, there's concern and anxiety about making the right choice. Look at the different choices, and I'm being asked to share an exercise with you. It's really, really good for choices. If you sit and you almost like dream yourself into those possibilities, those different choices, take one at a time. You could even put them out on pieces of paper and lay them out in front of you, or use crystals or feathers or angels and have one for each possibility. Sit with the energy of that and dream yourself into it so that you can really see how that might feel to you, and really check in with your physical body, check in on what that daydream of that possibility and that route and that potential feel like. Again, move away from your head and the procrastinations and the shoulds and shouldn'ts and the what ifs, and just sit with what it feels like, because your heart won't lie to you. Okay, and do that with every choice you're facing, and actually you'll find you know the way. There is only one way. At the moment there's procrastination. If you sit with that energy and get clear then about your intentions, Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. Fabulous energy. That's going to open up a new beginning, a space of new beginning. And what you're needing to do is to connect into this, opening yourself to possibility, removing that procrastination, getting into this space of listening to get clear. When you do, the energy, just sit with this for one moment, sit with the energy of this. Now, when you get that clear, crystal clear intention, this rune will shift into an upright position, the energy of that rune. And then that's about the flow, the ebb and flow of careers, of emotions, of relationships. Everything will then start to flow and to move forwards. But there's a need to sort through this procrastination bit first. Things are going to move forwards. Get crystal clear on what you want. Sit with that kind of exercise. This is the new energy coming in. For some of you, this is a new relationship. It's time to take action. It's wonderful. For some of you, it is a burst of raw energy coming in for you to start something new, to know your direction. For some of you, it is someone who comes in, who I think you find quite inspirational. They fire you up, they spark your passion, or an offer of something. Again, it's an opportunity, something that literally lights your fire out of darkness into light, renewed clarity, carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. It is time to spread your wings. Archangel Ariel, do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. Whatever your idea, whatever your inspiration, your goal, your passion, your desire, your relationship, whatever it is, it's quite a good time for you guys really to take action. This is everything in this reading is very dynamic. It's just there's a residue of something within your choices, and that something is purely, it can be sorted out. And again, don't wobble. Remember, peace. Archangel Chamuel. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. There's no wrong decision. There's no wrong decision. Whatever decision you make, it will be the right one because it will give you the experiences you need right now, and that will be the next step through on your journey, on the evolution of your soul within this human lifetime. This is powerful, it's energetic, it's vibrant. Again, journey inwards, work with black obsidian, call upon Archangel Metatron to help you focus on your priorities. Get those crystal clear intentions in place. Take action, do not hold back. Open yourself to possibility. This is wonderful. There's such a powerful energy here of moving forwards. And I do think this, if we look at that rune in reverse where things are blocked, it's understandable. Understandable to be anxious when we have choices and decisions, but truly there is no wrong way. And ultimately, I think there's only one way for you to go. The rune of wholeness often says, it's the path you must follow. This is lovely. I don't think I can say any more. Wonderful people. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous reading. So I would like to say so much love to you. Absolutely wonderful energy. Don't let that procrastination hold you back. Guys, if the procrastination in any way goes back in your roots to growing up with people who've been a little over controlling or toxic or narcissistic, just to let you know, I will be doing that workshop on narcissism that I've promised. It will be done in May. I will be posting the date very soon, so if you want notification of that, do please again subscribe and press the little bell icon. That way you'll get notification, and yeah, it'll be of course recorded if you're not able to join us for the live event. So, and yes, also one other thing to add, wonderful people, I'm shifting from big monthly readings to fortnightly readings, and I'm doing that because I think we are genuinely being called to become more present. And so I'm also going to align those twice monthly readings with the full moon and new moon, which means next week I will be doing a reading for every sign based on the energy of the new moon, which is actually on Friday next week, and based on that energy, and also for the coming 2 weeks. So we're going to be checking in with, you know, full readings every 2 weeks. I did an energy update on the full moon last time, a couple of weeks ago, but with very mini readings. But these are going to be the proper in-depth readings, and fortnightly from now on, just so that we can really tune into the energy and be present to what is available to us in terms of using that energy for empowerment and manifestation. Wonderful people, so much love to you all. Namaste.